All right. This wasn't my best game filming. I feel like I say that every game. I was having some difficulty syncing the remote to the device. And I missed a goal. So you guys are already up 1-0. And Felix ran off the field to his hiding spot. Beans, you're like a mile offside. Do you understand what offside means? You can't be behind that one kid. Is that Evan or whatever the other one's name was?
Rice.
All right. So, see, now you're all the way forward. I mean, show some discipline. All right, so Dempsey has it here. You want to fan all the way to the right, so that's good. He should flip it over to you. See if he does it. No, well, and he missed the shot. So, in that situation, Dempsey, if there's 4 people on you, that means somebody else is open. All right, so note Jack's range. When Jack's goalie, he kicks it to about midfield, and it's got good height on it. So again, you see how they're all ball chasing you? And you're fast, it's, the first quarter. But you need to kind of cross that to Beans. Like now. And just wasting so much time and so much energy. They had a show on HBO a couple years ago called, it's probably about 20 years ago now, Rome. And they were talking about Julius Caesar, who the month of July is named after, how he was killed. He was a general in his time. And his right-hand man, Mark Antony, said, 6 mangy dogs can kill a lion. And it's the same principle here. 6 players who aren't that good, if they're guarding you, they can stop you. Means you really need to work on your left foot. It cost you a lot in this game. And again, they didn't have their big dogs in. They had a couple of them on the bench. I don't think Walker's there yet, so Jack's kind of just punting these. Means you're offside. So notice what that means. You can't be behind the one glasses kid. Now, I like this aggression. This is perfect. You run up, you ran him off the ball, and that's good. You need to work on your croqueta to the left. I don't know if you've been practicing that, but that's how you get by these people. And when it's this trapped in the corner, look, your whole team is like in that vertical line there. Osage, he's the only one with discipline. He's man in the middle circle. Okay, so switching fields. Do you guys know what that means?
Yeah, like to bunch over the other side of the field.
Well, not really. That means to go from like the left side to the right side. That was an amazing throw-in. Terrible first touch, Beansy. You got to let that roll and just run onto it. You would have had just that one little number 2 to beat. But in a situation, see Pink, they're all in this line other than Osage. Like, when you get the ball here, you have to flip it to the other side. Now, it probably wouldn't have mattered much because your people are all spread out here as well. That's a good move. Is that Bryn, the girl in the middle circle?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I was impressed by her today. It limited what she can do, but she disrupts people. You know how Mark kind of disrupts you, Dempsey?
Yeah.
She disrupts Mark to a bit. Okay. I don't want, a dog with croup on my recording. I thought, so this was the first battle between Dempsey and Didier, and I thought you completely outclassed him. So this you need to flip it over to Beansy. You see the play? How it is now?
Yeah.
It'd help if you look up at the TV. When you're doing these big looping things, the goal isn't to take a low percentage shot from a bad angle. It's to cross it back to the middle. Do a high cross, preferably with backspin, so it drops and sticks there and doesn't roll. So now it's a Jack. You look at the 4 of you, all in the middle, guarding the same spot. Dempsey, your biggest weakness in soccer is you don't communicate.
And
well, Beansy was actually the only one I thought doing well. She was guarding Didier. Jack does like passing it to Didier. So again, you choose to go outside Mark here, and it didn't work. So I'm just something I'm going to keep track of in this game. How many times Dempsey cuts in versus tries to go outside and outrun Mark? All right, your defensive line, and this stinks because Felix isn't there. They need to move up. That was a beautiful throw. So you guys always take bad angles with Mark too. You run it where he is and not where he's going. So Dempsey's going to do it here, and now Mark's by him. Do you see how that's... Now again, you're in a bad position. See, Lucy's going to lose that ball. She's 100% going to lose it. You need to start positioning yourself between the ball and the goal. You don't need to stand behind it and wait for her to pass it to you. It's never going to happen. So again, the only threat here, if Mark's doing the throw, well, now there's two. It's Didier and Mark, and you can guard them both because they're standing in the same spot, which is what you do. All right, now this is an ideal opportunity here. If you're doing the throw, look how close they are. Their whole group. Dempsey, you should have thrown that, not Beansy. Just if you're going to throw it to Dempsey, throw it low and at his feet. Generally don't want to pass it straight to the other team. All right. That hesitation cost you. It gave Osage enough time to collect the ball and pass it away. So again, everyone hesitated, and Mark had time to make a pass. Think of when you had that game against NCFC. Those boys did not hesitate. They charged in. If they missed, they made sure that their body kind of bumped you a little bit to throw you off. This, I think, is good. Beansy did very well, hurrying up the throw. Dempsey's got to go. He's got to go. And she did it to the ground. See, he's got to get on Mark. I don't know what's the point of stopping and letting him compose his thoughts and write a novella. All right. So same thing again. Dempsey, can you take your face out of the milkshake? Now, Beansy, you need to be cutting to the goal. Not that he ever passes it to you. It's going to sound like we're in a cafeteria. All right. Another thing that I think you should do, and this is probably a job for Daksh, is have him stand way up outside the 18-yard box. So Jack's on the goalie box. 18-yard box is the next one, just because it gives him something to think about. Now, he's telegraphing this pass. This is 100% going to Mark here. I'm recording, so there's that. All right, Beansy, charge in there, bad angle. Don't charge where they are, charge where they're going. Now, I thought Isaac had a pretty strong first and second quarter, too. And then he kind of disappeared. So let's see. Does he go in? He goes outside again. So that's 2 times going outside on Mark. 2 times losing the ball. Your whole team is like ball chasing. It's kind of sickening to watch. All right, this is good. Do you see how the offense gave up chasing you? They're just walking back there. You would have been better served taking one more touch and getting closer. Jack's too good of a goalie. You can't be rifling shots from far away. He's not like your goalies that just stand there and back up into the goal. When they have a good goalie in, you got to get closer. He did a lot of the Henry style of goalieing, where he kind of bats the ball down. And when they do that, there's an opportunity for the rebound.
So we should kick the ball low?
Well, you can. But if Dempsey takes a shot from far, you two need to be crashing the goal. You should always be crashing the goal anyways. All right, so Beansy, I don't know why you passed it to Daksh. It's instant turnover. Okay, the play's back to Dempsey. Okay. So now we have Jack out of goal. So their goaltending is going to be compromised. Now when you see how you didn't do that pass to Dempsey, you did that pass to Didier. And you don't need the ball bouncing. You need it rolling across the ground. So Beansy, stay on him. He's going to do a big loop. He always does a big loop. Again, you're going where he's at, not where he's going. And that was good to get in his body. You see how you got into his body and then he lost possession? All right. What's the point of that kick?
Me?
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody there. You kicked it straight to the other team. Fields is streaking towards the middle. Now, this is good. Took way too long. But that was good, Beansy. When you had the ball, you stopped. You saw that was too difficult of a play. All right, bad, Dempsey. You see how, look, they switched fields. They went from the right side to the left. You got it over here one-on-one with Jack, and they've got, it looks like Abby and the tall girl. No, that's easy. You fake, you lunge right, cut back in, you get, 20 feet closer. You didn't need to take the shot from that far away after you've telegraphed it. Like, you stopped, you tapped the ball a couple feet in front of you. Jack knew exactly what you were doing. He came up to alter your trajectory just a little bit. When you've got one guy, beat him. You've got more than one, don't. All right, now watch this. So Bryce or Evan, one of those two, kicks it to Jack. Jack immediately crossed it to the middle. I want you to take a note of that. Get up on him, Dempsey. Don't give him space. So just, you see how Beansy charged in? And Mark elbows her in the face? That's kind of what you want to do. Not necessarily get elbowed in the face, but, you run in and be aggressive. When you run up and stop, you're just giving them free time. You're saying, I'm scared of you. I'm going to let you get all the time in the world. So this is good, Felix. Coming over and shadowing Didier to take away that pass from him. You'll never get through this blob. So again, the play is here. This is where you come in. You see how you did a back tap? That's where you got to be aggressive and charge in. That's the same way you gave up a goal to Luis. Dempsey, you're way too far back. And that's unlucky. Anytime you hit the crossbar, that's unlucky. Couple inches to the right, that goes in. But do you see how good your range is?
Yeah.
You only have to get to there and have a clear shot. That's why I'm wondering why you always try to outrun Mark running to the corner. And then you give up. And then he has the ball and he takes like 4 seconds to compose himself. And you're standing 5 feet away hoping he's just going to tap it straight to you. Again, that was a bad angle. You charged in on somebody who was moving, but your speed just completely is trouble for him. I feel like whenever we record these, there's always some child crying in the background. But then, like 99% of the day, there's just no crying. See, again, this is a problem too. See how Sage and Isaac, they start meandering closer to the line? Now we lost all of our spacing. Doc's is in good spacing. That's pretty good. And again, the play is back to Dempsey if you can. If Bryn would have let that roll to Dempsey, we would have been cooking. Again, take a good angle. Now, Jack here is dangerous. You can't let him get to the middle of the field. Jack, Didier, they're both dangerous there. Now, do you see that? You stopped, you faked like you were going to cut back and you continued going. That is how you got to do these misdirection. But you don't do that nearly enough. You're always trying to outrun somebody. And all that does is make you tired. And it makes a less talented player. That was a pretty brilliant header if he meant to head it to the ground with Didier. But it makes a less talented player, like, I can run with this guy. Your throw-ins are phenomenal. But again, you probably want to go to Felix's outside shoulder. Yeah, Mark gave you an elbow too. He's elbowed two of you guys. But you want to face it to his outside shoulder because he's not going to beat Mark in a foot race. But Mark still has to turn. Whereas if you throw it towards the middle of the field, it's a much easier turn for him to do. Now, that's a good move by Dox to come in and guard Didier there. Again, you got to be fast out here. This is, truthfully, at this age, when you don't have somebody who's good doing a corner kick, doing a big loopy circle. Nope. Again, Felix, you got to hit him. Yeah, this is good. Oh. But when you don't have somebody good doing a corner kick, that's a perfect opportunity for a counter. Because usually all their good people get stuck in the box thinking they're going to do like a flying header or something like that. So she throws this to Bryn, which is weird. It kind of works out. But again, I mean, you got to communicate with her. Yeah, see, it kind of works out. Sage with a forearm shiver. Now, was that a shot or a cross to Beansy?
I try to make a shot.
Yeah. That was a pretty good-looking lefty shot. I mean, that's one of the better ones I've seen you do. Your left has come a long way. But again, Beansy, you always like run up to the goal, then you stop. Like when somebody's kicking it, just keep going, keep going. There's no reason to stop. Here you kind of want to fan out. I would tell Dox, yeah, just like he's doing, just stand in front of Didier, stand in front of Mark. Just be a deterrent. Now, do you see it? He kicked it to Jack. Jack crossed it to the middle. So that's a thing. Felix, you're like a mile offside. So be aware of that. Like, I know you want to run up field and get open, but you almost got to run sideways and until Dempsey kicks it and then cut up field. That's how you stay onside. Why did you wait there? Oh, because of the subs. Now, you see how you're both got the same idea? You're both kind of doing back post. Somebody needs to go forward. Do you see what we're talking about? I'm talking about here? Yeah. Because if somebody goes forward, right, Beansy or Felix, if you run forward, make a lot of noise, people are going to react to you and it takes attention away from Beans.
This is a good kick.
Yeah. You guys got lucky. All 8 of their defenders were just watching Dempsey in the same spot. And this is why you need, when you do them, Felix, just lift it high. Good things happen when you kick it high. You do low, 9 people can block it. You do high, 1 person can block it.
Goalie.
Yeah, just the goalie. So again, when I say stand at the corners, I mean where the halfway field line dissects the middle circle. Now, Beansy, your job is to sprint hard at Jack. Felix, your job is to sprint hard at Mark. Now, you see how Jack did the touch pass back? That's 3 times he's done it back to Didier. Now, that was quick feet by Bryn. Beansy with a little elbow shiver herself. Okay, body him. Get up in him. And again, I mean, you kick it right back to Jack. Jack gets a goal.
That was my fault.
I mean, I don't think it was necessarily your fault. I think if somebody kicks a ball as slow as that was towards a goalie, they would react faster than like giant Ant-Man. Remember when Ant-Man blew himself up? He was like super big and he moved really slow.
Part of him looked like he moved really slow.
Ant-Man or Caleb?
Ant-Man. Both.
I mean, because you're big, you slow down. But, like, I mean, you got to make a save. He kicks it right at you. You lift your foot up in the air to kick it, and it goes right under your foot. You know, I mean, it's tough. I don't know who else to put in goal. I would certainly be looking. And again, so you see how they charge up here, and then you play it upfield and it works. But Felix took a big wide loop, and now he gets it. You just got to do straight line, kid. There's no time for the circles. Now we need Dox on Didier. Somebody on Didier, Mark. They're right next to each other. And when they're right next to each other, easy to guard. Now, if we know Jack's going to try to flick that back to the middle. Well, bad of Isaac to kick it towards the middle. Good job tracking back, Beans. Try not to get pushed out of the way. All right, so you should have taken a couple more dribbles there, but if you saw him open against these 3, this looked like really good soccer. That was a lightning fast counterattack. And if you have somebody up there that you can trust, that works out. Last season, you had that between you and Zach. If Zach was up, you were back. Most of the time, Zach was back and you were up. Somebody that, you make this deal, you kind of get by people. You look up, see your guy, and then you rifle it to them. Now, to their credit, I don't know who made the lineup change, but Pink's team started to put a good defender back. And again, see, he's come back to Didier. Each time it's the same thing. Now, the difference between Josh and Beans. When Dempsey did that kick, Beans stood there and waited for it to arrive, and Josh went and, attacked the ball. Again, Mark's not going to do like a slicing kick to the right. You don't need to over-pursue like that. Beansy, I like what you're doing there. You get on him, you get physical with him. That's all you can do. Good idea, kicking it back and then running and getting open. I mean, this was good stuff. Dempsey needed to put more mustard on it. Now we've got Cash hustling, and then your guy's not. So, Dempsey, see how you're kind of, well. And again, swing it to the see the difference here? You didn't dribble it first. You just went straight for that kick. Now, this is a play. Didier's like 10 yards offside.
And Lily starts crying.
Well, I don't care about Lily crying, but come on. But again, there's a reason why the professionals, they argue for calls. And I don't want you rolling on the ground, grabbing your leg. But when somebody's like 10 yards behind your last defender, that's a penalty, and that ends the quarter. They get a goal from that.
I've never seen someone argue and then win the argument.
In the professionals, it happens all the time. Now, I don't want you arguing everything, but something like that was egregious. He was big time offside, and they got a goal from it, and that was the difference in the game. Coach was arguing it, and
I even argued it too.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Stop.
Totally.
You don't even, now see how they're not going up to you anymore? They've grown wise to you. Felix, you got to kind of let that go by you a little bit. But the refs came up to Coach Luis after the game and kind of apologized for all the all the calls. Sometimes Sydney does a good thing. That was a bad one. Again, when somebody pokes it away, stay on them. Don't let them turn. You see how you kind of let them turn? That was a brilliant move to keep it in. I don't think you needed to get rid of it just then. Do you see that? And now the fact they have Jack back, Jack and Didier can clear the ball far. They just can. See, Beansy taking way too long. Nobody's in front of you. Bring the ball up. This was actually a good 1-2-3, but the pass needed to be a little sharper. And again, see how you hesitated? You have to come in there hard every time. Now let's mark again. And then you're like, see how you slow down? You're playing way too passive. And then they get the ball out of there. I mean, you were definitely threatening there. Beansy, I mean, you're just watching. All of you. So again, you let Mark push you off the ball, and then you passively follow him. Like Sydney's running faster than you right now. And then he makes a pass. They're going to get a goal from this. So you had the ball at midfield. You started to dribble up. You had all the space in front of you. You stopped, and then you started to dribble. And then Mark came near you, and you let the ball roll away. You let him grab it, let him corral it. You let him just meander across the field. You're jogging after him. Sydney's catching up from behind because you're running so slow. You give him like 10 to 15 seconds, and then he passes it upfield. Goal. And again, this works best when you have two people get upfield. I feel like this was a lost opportunity. Now, you don't have Jack in goal, so it's a little easier. Shh, come on, Sox. We're trying to do this. But watch what the goalie does when you kick it. If you would just have kicked this on goal, watch what happens. Do you see how he runs into the goal?
He runs.
Yeah, so I told you to watch the goalie.
Is it really funny?
No.
Come on.
I've been trying to get him in his bed for 2 hours.
I'm recording. Now everyone at PEFYA knows you're a child abuser.
I don't care.
All right. So by having a free kick and then just missing the goal, Cash ran into the goal. When you did your kick, he wandered into the goal. So if you would have just put it on target, that's a goal. So sometimes I can trying to get too cute with a goalie like Jack. Maybe you try to paint the upper corners, but no, you just need to you got to put it on target. Again, this plays down to Mark. That's what I would do. Good job, Beans, recognizing it. See, if you guard their threats, it increases your chance of getting the steal. Now, Beansy, I want one of you guarding the circle the whole time. So if Dempsey's doing a throw and he's throwing to Felix, yeah, good. Going too wide. I mean, that was a little theatrical.
I didn't do anything.
You extended the arm. If you extend Mark's kind of clumsy. So one of the things, he steps on your feet. When he falls dramatically. But yeah, you extended the arm. I mean, you can't do that. All right. So we know Jack's distance is about half the field. Now, while that header was fun, they're just going to send it right back after luring you up. Well, I guess they're not. All right. Yeah, there we go. So you guys experimented in this quarter having Felix back and Dempsey up front, and it just
Doesn't work.
No. You need to have your best athlete back, and you need to have somebody that can clear the ball back. All right, so this is going to be the handball. I guess the refs are consistent. Truthfully, it's only supposed to be a handball if it hits your arm when you're making your body bigger. Like if my arms are by your side like they were there, that's not making your body bigger. But if you have your arms off to the side and it hits them, you're essentially making your body bigger. So they've been consistent, but I mean, it's unfortunate. And that started because, Dempsey, you weren't paying attention. Walker's doing the corner kick, and you're looking upfield. Why? I don't know. It's always look at the ball. So the body language from Caleb was just bad to start. As soon as they started to do this kick, Caleb left the goal. He wanted to leave too. And he kicks it right down the middle.
He pushed his hands up.
Yeah, and he backed up into goal, So I think the final score ended up being 5-4. They had 5 shots on goal. When you say, are on target, they say when the shot would go in unless it was deflected, right? And all 5 went in. I don't think we made a single save the entire game, whereas their goalies made repeated saves. And that's something that can improve on. It can't get any worse, right? And this little experiment, having Felix back and Dempsey up, too slow. You can't, it's not a 2-touch. It's a 1-touch, okay? That's why you lost the ball. I know you like your right foot. Heaven forbid, dribble it up. There's nobody in front of you. Do you see that? You guys have to, there's certain principles. If there's nobody in front of you, you guys are all too good dribblers to just try to kick it away. Even Brian there, what was he doing? Okay, Lucy, this is bad. Dempsey, see how you're fanning up the field? Lucy's not going to punt it 35 yards to you. You see Lucy get it, you have to go to her. And out of the three of you, Beans was the first to kind of realize we've got a problem. That's pretty much almost everybody on your team. If they get the ball in a dangerous spot, you have to go to them. They're not going to make the right choice. See, Felix, you got to go with him. Him and Beans isn't going to do anything. You're not playing defense. You're midfield. Midfield means you have to go. Again, Beans, yeah, I like that you were battling there. That was good. And then Felix, you just came up and you kind of jabbed at it with one foot. That's not how we play defense. It isn't poke the ball away or nothing. It's body. Get your body in front of them. Body in front of them. Force them to the side you want to go. If you're squared up to them, they have the advantage. When you have somebody defending you, you want them to square up with you because it's such a bad thing. They have to go backwards while you're going forward. All right, again, Dempsey, you got to recognize Felix doesn't have the leg. And I think he's just going to kick this. The worst part, look at all the defenders right in the middle. He kicks it right in the middle. What were you hoping? Is that kid's name Christian?
I tried to kick it to Dempsey.
No, that's not what you were trying to do. Okay, here we go. Dempsey going wide again on Mark. Shot needs to be... Jackson in a good defensive position. You went backwards against a fast player, and he took it from you. Never go backwards, Dempsey. Where are the lunges? There's just no lunges. Again, I don't know if Clay is a threat. Lucy, Lucy kind of stopped him there. What kind of?
Chokes on the ground.
So after the game, I noticed I had 2 alerts on my watch that said my heart rate was at a dangerous level and I wasn't doing anything. So it's on the one hand, it's nice that it's monitoring that. But on the other hand, Caleb's trying to kill your father. All right, so again, Dempsey, where are you going? Caleb cannot get you the ball. He cannot get Brian the ball. Do you see? That's madness. Felix, it's the same with your 10-year-old team. You see that? Because you piddled with it, trying to juggle it into the air. They got a goal. There's certain things, and I hope Felix never is back on defense again. Technically you're midfield. You were supposed to be midfield.
I was offense.
No, you were midfield. Coach did not send you on defense, but you were back. And in some situations it was good because you recognize when there's a problem, but you got to get that ball outside. You got to, stop trying to juggle it. I'd say Jack's first goal, that one was good, but every other one of their goals was kind of gimmicky. And again, Beansy, you're trying to get physical with your your elbow, and that's illegal. You can't do that. Put a body into him. Just like that. Do you see that? You got in front of him, backed your butt into him. He can no longer go forward. All right, Dempsey, you're playing way too far back. Look who you're guarding. You're guarding Cash and Clay. Didier and Walker are there. They're the threats. But you don't need to get that far back. This is beautiful, but the pass is way behind you. You know, I mean, that's an opportunity lost. Felix, you got to put it in front of him and on the ground. That was a very close shot.
Oh, yeah, man.
And truthfully, I like that. I mean, it's something that maybe one more dribble might have been better, but that's how the pros play. They're on the outside, they do one move to the inside, and then they rifle a shot. It's when you start just trying to dribble and run, the defense catches up. I mean, kids without a ball run faster than kids with a ball. Now again, this is Jack kicking it. He's got midfield range, and you know it's Didier and Mark. And look, you can guard them both with one. Oh, I didn't see Walker there. I like how you're playing here, Felix. I mean, you need a little bit support towards the middle. Yeah. Again, you're going too wide unnecessarily. One move, cut back inside. This was an amazing pass. I just can't believe that was the shot you had. And Beansy, work on your left. That was bad. Oh, handball by Mark. Handball by Mark. That was a big handball by Mark in the box.
Oh, yep, and that's penalty. That would be a goal.
That's
Yep.
what Coach said.
Okay,
Coach said handball.
it's fine. It's fine.
That would be a goal.
Guys,
Would have been tied 5-5.
I would have not been missing those shots.
it's fine. It was fun to point out, but
I think we just called unfair call.
guys, Papa didn't do a great job filming, right? You guys didn't do a perfect job playing. The refs, they're like 15-year-old kids. They're not going to see everything. There's two of them. In a normal game, what do they have? Like three or... I think they've got three. Good steal. So that's Josh. He used to be on your team a couple years ago. With the glasses. I guess that could count as a shot on goal. Sage, my goodness. So, you guys got to come up with something creative, similar to. So again, you're going outside on. Now you got all their big guns there. You got all three of their big guns. You needed to flip that up. Like, it's taking way too long. You've got Clay, Mark, Didier, and Cash were all on you. It was Felix versus people Felix can beat. Now again, when Didier plays defense, that's all he really seems to enjoy doing, is just doing big clearances. So again, there's no point to that. You've got nobody there. You've got Clay in front of you. Clay can't stop you. He just can't. One croquet's in, you go by him. Good job coming back, Felix. Bringing that up. You need to play that to Beansy. Again, it's too much. And Dempsey, you don't need to crowd him like that. There's no point of you running up to Felix. It's not going to accomplish anything. If he's going to get stuck, he's going to get stuck with you there. But you're not giving him any options. What he should have did there once Felix turned is played it back to you. But if you don't call back, he's not going to do it. Beansy not paying attention there. All right, so as soon as she turns midfield, this is bad. This is already bad. See, Dempsey, you don't need to keep backing up. So you need to cut in.
He's trying to shoot.
Now, I don't know where Felix is, but he should be cutting to the goal. Your throws are just monster. Yeah, too bad he wasn't cutting towards the goal. So, Felix, you didn't need to run towards Didier there. Dempsey's not going to throw it to him. So, Beansy, you need to start putting a body in people. All right? You start putting them away. Now, the problem here is you get in these little soccer tennis games with Didier and Mark, and that doesn't work to your advantage. Yeah, you're better than any of them at juggling out of the air, but the more chaotic you make it, the bigger the problem is.
That was a close one, too.
Did Jack hit it or did it hit the post?
Jack hit it.
Okay.
It was gonna make it in. There's
Yeah,
any
he's
other
like up
goalie.
corner.
Yeah, so again, the farther away you are, the more time Jack has to settle under it. He's not a bad goalie. It's a luxury they have where they could take one of their top players and put him in goal. But that kind of stuff, it's the other guys you got to catch sleeping. Now the play here, it could have been that, I guess, but I don't know what Felix was thinking. You guys got to practice doing throw-ins to the ground. All right, now see here? Now, if one of the best places to trap the other team is at their end on a throw-in, because, he's not doing a throw anymore. But you see how Cash just tried to quick drop that to Didier? Like, what you would do is pressure Didier so he doesn't make that throw, and he throws it across the field. You need one person up there, and it kind of doesn't matter who, although probably shouldn't be Dempsey. So Dempsey, you got to charge in. Look how much time this kid has. And they do like kind of a dopey pass. You should have already been there. That was a brilliant play by Didier. That was a good shot. The goalie wasn't going to get it. That was a great play. In hindsight, if you would have kicked that up a little higher, obviously it would have been better. He's not a tall kid. But do you remember we played Saturday soccer and Coach Eric was there? Yeah. He was making plays like that. Do you know Mrs. Fulcher? She told me that their insurance allows for 20 headers, I think, per week. So Didier's now at 18.
Really? Wait, what?
You're only allowed to have, I think, 20 in a week. Because, I don't know, repeated trauma to your head.
How much is... Oh, he's got 18?
When I did that one header, that one hurt my head a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want you guys doing that. I really don't.
What'll happen?
I'll be upset at you. That's what'll happen. Again, you see, you got three guys on you. Yeah, you got to boot it. Now again, Felix, this is a situation you got to come to the ball. Don't wait for the ball to come to you. Come to it, okay? You know Didier's there. You should have looked at him at least once. Now again, Isaac, you never want to clear it like to the middle in front of your goal. And see how there, you don't want to give people time too. So Beansy, I'm just chattering now. So I guess when you got bumped there, you were supposed to like fall on the ground and spin 3 times.
It's Richmond though.
Well, yeah. It wasn't bad. You hesitated. Now, Felix, never back away. Never back away. You want the goalie out of position. He can grab it. So if you back away, it's nothing for him to grab that. Okay? You want to put a body into him, box him out. Because then his instinct is going to push back at you, and then he's not being a goalie anymore. You need somebody in the middle, crossing. Or crashing the goal. Truthfully, this is a little more disappointing than last year, or last season, we'll say. There's just no discipline for anyone. The whole white team just chases the ball. The purple team, for the most part, does the same. Whereas last year, I want to say like at least a third of the team were just disciplined in their positions. Now, you get in this thing where, again, we're doing soccer tennis, but whereas Dempsey's getting the ball out of there, doing the goal kicks, but there's not enough of a threat upfield to make it really worth anything. There's just Felix, and it's not working. So they're just sending it right back to Dempsey, and then he's sending it right back. In that situation there, Dempsey, Clegg had the ball, and again, you backed off of him. There's no benefit to giving people time and space. So in this situation, you probably want Sage to tap it to you. This is what Felix has been doing with his. See how far back everyone is? They're waiting for you to do a big kick. Be smarter than this. That'll be coming back. Yep. See? I mean, there's no point to it. So what I'm saying that I want you to do is to tell Sage to just tap the ball 1 inch, because then you get to dribble up. Then that line of people are going to come up to greet you, and then you kick it over their head. What, are you going to tell me that they told you can't do that in your game today?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them making up the rules. That's not a rule.
What do I say?
Ask that, say, is that a rule? All right, so again, you're in trouble here. If they notice it, this is trouble. So Dempsey, like, just wandering away. I don't know what he thinks is going to happen. I mean, Felix, you saved a goal. That was huge. You need to keep going to the outside. See, you kind of cut straight up field instead of going outside. See, Dempsey, you're way far back. And one of the problems of playing that far back like you are is you'll never put them offside. Because you're the last defender and they'll always be in front of you. So you don't want to be that far back. Again, this is another situation. They see Dempsey's kicking it, and then they all go upfield. And then it's going to be coming right back. Well, if I could film, it'd be coming right back. So, good defense, Beansy. And again, I mean, that's a good play by Jack. And that was good instincts by you, Felix, to come up. Because had he not come up, I think you probably get a goal. So somebody should have been telling Dempsey man on. You know, you got to communicate and let him know that Clay was coming. So you want to work yourself to the middle of the field to then take the shot. All right? Like the angled shots, they're tougher to score from. I feel like these two are evenly matched, as evidenced by this exchange here. See, Bryn does a good job finding you. That was the wrong play. Why didn't you go the other end of the field? Look at all this space that's over there. You cut it towards Mark and Clay. Like, I mean, this is where, when you don't have the ball, you got to be looking around and looking for the available space.